If there's one thing we've learned about business and life, it's that people are the X factor. They constantly surprise us, both in amazing ways and not so much. We're Ben and Syya, and welcome to the Gnaw on This Business Bites podcast. This show is all about real life things we all deal with every day, how they relate to business, and how to make some sense out of our daily chaos. Welcome to the show. And welcome back to another episode of Gnaw on This Business Bites. I'm Ben and this is Syya. And here's a question for you. Is public speaking right for you? It's not right for everybody. Not everybody needs to speak in public. Everybody should try it once. Everybody should, get completely out of their comfort zone, even if you're only speaking in front of 5 people in a meeting somewhere. But the question is public speaking something that is part of your brand? You have something to say. You can actually add value to people. And it's something that is going to move your needle and the needle of the people that you're going to want to influence on a regular basis. I am a public speaker. I've been speaking around the world. It's half the fun of what I do. I love being in front of an audience, but it's not about me. And see, we've said it about it another time. It's about the people you're talking to. So Syya, let's gnaw on this.
So, based on the parameters of how you set this up, I was ready to be like, yeah, everyone should be a public speaker. But I say that with caveat, meaning for some, the idea of being a public speaker includes those 5 people meetings, right? It's speaking in general, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's the tact I was going to take it. But should everyone be a public speaker? Of course, you could be whatever you want to be, everybody. Now, the question is do you have an audience that finds value in whatever it is that you're sharing? You probably do have someone somewhere. Like there's a lock for every key. I would never say to someone, not for you. But I would say if you don't find it a natural fit for your personal brand or your corporate brand, don't force it either.
Exactly.
I feel like maybe because we're on the entrepreneur side of things on LinkedIn, and obviously from a corporate perspective, your corporate branding, you may want to be known as someone that's willing to jump up on stage unprepared on a whim, that can be reliable and provide value to whatever public speaking you need to be talking about. But yeah, I am an advocate of at least learn the skill sets and recognize what needs to be part of an effective speaker on stage, because I think those same tactics, if you will, to be a persuasive speaker can apply to your personal life on a one-on-one conversation, because public speaking is also one-on-one, which applies to networking meetups.
Absolutely.
One-on-one.
I think that everybody in the world needs to be able to stand up and articulate a point and be able to be persuasive to a point of being able to share ideas and get it to resonate with people, whether that be on a one-on-one basis, whether it be 1 of 5 or 1 to 10,000. Not everybody is designed to fly around the world, spend half their life in a hotel, barely eating, healthy, once a month if you're lucky, getting into the hotel at 2:00 in the morning and having to be up at 6:00 in the morning for a sound check. Yeah, you do. No offense. If you are part of the elite speakers world, you get paid extremely well for doing this. Most people don't.
Oh, I would say 99% don't.
98 to 99% of people either barely make a living or don't make a living at all. And a lot of people, for some silly reason, pay to be speakers on stages. Say, well, I can go to this conference and I can pay $5,000 and be a sponsor of the conference and I get a speaker spot. Well, what you're getting there is people that are doing commercials. One way or the other, if you're the one who's paid to go to that conference and sitting in on those lectures, you're being fed a commercial in one way, shape, or form,
Mm-hmm.
because they've paid $5, $10, $15,000 to be on that stage. They need an ROI to be there. So I think that we need to sit there and say, what is a comfortable public speaking avenue for you? What do you want to do? Do you just want to be seen as ready for the next level up within your corporation? Do you want to be seen as more of who you are and elevate yourself and be able to elevate your brand within your organization, or be seen as the go-to source for your company in your industry? Do you want to be able to speak comfortably in front of a whole group of clients? You need to understand, what is your objective in speaking in public. Do you want to be a trainer? Do you want to be able to present to boards of directors? Do you want to be someone who is one of the speakers at a company retreat? Do you want to be, in front of 5,000 people, in front of a room with a 50-foot monitor behind you, that with people that are clapping at the end of your performance? Each requires a different level of speaking. Each requires a different level of preparation. Each requires a different level of nuance. And we need to decide as individuals what's important to us and how is this going to benefit us, elevate our career, elevate our brand, and enable us to get from where we are to where we want to be. And for each and every single one of us, the answer is different. And there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. Some people would just like to be comfortable to be able to stand up in front of 5 people in a board meeting and be able to say what they want to say without feeling like they're imposter syndrome. When you do that, good for you. That's public speaking. And and you should be proud of being able to do that. And there's lots of ways of doing it. I mean, Toastmasters is a phenomenal way of doing that. Going to networking events and going to talk to strangers is a great way of learning how to do that. And it's a matter of being prepared, sitting there going, these are the stories I want to tell. The facts come and the facts go. But it's being able to sit there and say, these are the 3 things I want to talk about. Okay, I know that I want to talk about these 3 things. As long as I articulate these 3 things, then I've gotten my point across.
Keep it simple.
And keep it simple.
Keep it simple, man. Like, that's the thing about, I think, making a mountain out of a molehill that we often do to ourselves. Or as I affectionately like to say, stop stacking your boxes of fear, uncertainty, doubt, etc.
Back to the boxes she goes.
I'm a big fan of boxes. And, if anyone knows, I literally have a poster of literally like people on boxes, like over there. Cause I've always loved that analogy. It's a different box issue. But so here's that thing with that imposter syndrome that creeps into all speakers. And it's funny. I have this like no fear chip. I will do anything. There are certain personality types that will jump off a cliff and they will build their parachute on the way down. I completely understand my lack of fear, and my constant need to do that is probably because I like that dopamine rush myself. But I have to remember there are some individuals that this is not the way your brain works. Mm-hmm. And I have to be respectful to remember that as well. So when I say this gently, I really mean this in earnestness, not because I'm that kind of person that just jumps off cliffs for fun. Sometimes that whole fear of like imposter syndrome, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert or extrovert. It was what I'm trying to say here is imposter syndrome is only in your own head. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say that is because 99% of the people audience listen to you are thinking they have imposter syndrome. So when they're listening to you, they're judging themselves about the words that are coming out of your mouth. So they're not judging you. They're judging themselves of like, oh wait, am I achieving these things? Am I taking that bullet point of wisdom or that instruction or whatever it might be? They're not judging you. They might in the first 15 seconds to see if you're BS artist or
Yeah.
not. Okay, let's be honest on that.
Yeah. I mean,
But
if your shirt doesn't match your shoes, there might be a problem, but that's a different story altogether.
exactly. Exactly. Is your contour on point? No, kidding. No, but I think with public speaking in general, and for those, should you do it, should you not do it, you only know yourself if it's right for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are there benefits if you do learn public speaking skills and apply it to one-on-one or 10,000 to 1 settings? Okay, that's up to you to decide. But I do think that mastering the art of being able to communicate and articulate. If you can say articulate, then you've won the game, peoples.
Exactly. Are we having
Again,
truck
with what you're
mumbles?
saying, I just feel that again, it's. I just want everyone to understand when we're saying public speaking, it doesn't mean we're talking about speaking in front of an audience 10,000. Doing this freaking podcast live stream here, right?
This is public speaking.
This is public speaking. But if you really look at it, I'm talking into a fracking camera with a microphone in my face. Like, I mean, even talking to you is questionable. You might be a bot now at this stage. Who
Well,
knows?
I probably am, but that's a different story altogether. I mean, in the world of AI, who knows whether I'm a real person or not? I hope I am,
I mean,
but
I've been called many things, but yeah. We've been called many things. AI is not there
no,
yet.
AI is definitely not one of them. But it's interesting. It's just one thing you brought up was skill level and building speaking as a skill. Every single speaker can up their game. I don't
Yes.
care if you're doing this for free. I don't care if you're being paying to do this. I don't care if you're speaking in front of one person or 10,000. Every single speaker needs to up their game. Every single person to sit there and say, what I did yesterday was what I did yesterday. The question is, what am I going to do tomorrow? And people I know spend 30, 40, $50,000 to become better speakers. And these are world-class speakers. These are people in the Speaking Hall of Fame that go to classes and to learn how to become better speakers. So I think that what we need to understand first and foremost, and this is the one thing you need to forget everything else we said, and this is the one thing you need to think about is, what can you tell your audience that's going to add value to them? The specific people in front of you. Are they engineers? Are they lawyers? Are they accountants? Are they salespeople? Are they marketing people? Are they, operations people? Who are these people? What's the problem that they have? And what piece of advice can you provide them that's going to make their life better? When you do that, you're a great speaker. When
I
you
love
can
that.
get them to walk out the door and go, I hadn't thought of it that way. That's cool. I can take this piece of information and I can make my life better. That's a great speaker. And that should always be your objective. It's not, did I stand up straight? It's not, did I tell that story the right way? It's not, did I use my left hand versus my right hand to do? Did I walk stage right or did I walk stage left? None of that matters. What matters is emotionally, how did those people attach themselves to the stories that you tell and enables them to have a better life because of spending 5 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour and a half with you? That's what makes a great speaker.
I love that. I love that. I've got nothing really to add on that. We could talk more on this. I mean, man, these 15 minutes, like restrictions we put on ourselves, Ben, it really irks me at times. I'm not going to lie, but
I think that it's important. I think that, and we'll leave it here, is I think that's what Gnaw on This is all about. It's, let's make this novel. Let's give you one thing to chew on that you can walk away with and go, let me think about this. And if we make it too long and we make it too complex, people will walk away and be confused. I want people to walk away and say, okay, is speaking for me? At what level? And how can I be better at it?
yeah, I can't disagree with that, my friend. It's good something to think about. It's definitely food for thought. If you haven't thought of it before, you really should think about it in general.
Absolutely. So I'm Ben.
Namsia.
And we'll see you soon.
Hey. Thanks for listening to another episode of Not on This, Business Bites. If you liked what you heard, we most humbly ask that you like, share, and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to communicate more effectively within your organization, contact Ben at yourbrandmarketing.com or me at brilliantbeammedia.com. We can help you build your community, brand awareness, and personality through digital content and podcasting. We cannot wait to hear from you. So see you next week for another episode of Not on This, Business Bites.